Hello, friends. Welcome back to the channel. And today we are talking about something that powers the most of your applications and the websites and also the online services which you use on daily basis, which is called the databases. And whether you are scrolling on social media or chatting with your friends or ordering food and or you can say that you are watching movie on some kind of a streaming platform, and then database is running behind the scenes, and databases are the backbone in any in a software development. And why databases matters. Here's the thing, in the software industry, if you say it's not about choosing the best database. It's about what's the right database that fit your application needs or the requirements. And some apps need some kind of the very faster reading, or the consistency or strong consistency or the strong data integrity, and the other need the lightweight, the embedded kind of the systems, and the lightweight file based systems. And because of this variety, there are different database technologies available, like the SQL, NoSQL, and the relational document based, or the key value pairs in the form of key value pairs, and all of them exist for a reason. And Rust and databases. So now let's connect it to the Rust. And Rust is very powerful, the very speedy and the safe programming language. In Rust, we there are amazing crates available to handle the all the database kinds of stuff. And but again, it all depends on your use cases and your needs. And there are different grades which we can explore. As you can see on my screen, the first one is the SQLX, and it's the complete SQL toolkit, and it's an async. And also, the most important thing, the best thing about this grade is it supports Postgre, MySQL, and SQLite. And let's say you have the applications, and that application needs some kind of a different kind of a database connection, then this SQLS is the answer for you. Let me scroll down to the bottom first and see how many downloads. Yeah, there are, let's see the number of the downloads. And you can see here is the documentation. Okay. Also, one important thing. Let's say you have this situation, you only need the SQLite, and so for that you don't have to use the SQLX grid because it's heavier, and there will be so many things which you are not going to use. So for that specific reason, like if you have in mind that you are going to use the SQLite, then you should use the another grade called the rusqlite, which is only specific to the SQLite. And it's let me scroll down to the bottom of this grade as well and see how many downloads we have. Okay, let's, yeah, see, this is these are the number of the downloads. And if we scroll above and check the, where is the code? Yeah, here's. So it's very simple and clean, and the only purpose is of this grade is just to handle the SQLite, nothing else. And so you can use these grades. And also there are other grades available for the connecting to the MongoDB as well, if you want to use the MongoDB. And let's say, or also when to choose which database. Let's say you want to use the SQL is for the local databases for the mobile applications like the iOS or the Android. And the most important thing for the CLI kind of the apps that don't need any kind of concurrency. And also it's if you need some kind of a portable file based system, then the SQLite is the option. Also, if your application have a very large database, and you need the high concurrency and the different kind of the strong data integrity, and you have the complex queries as well, then the best database that suits with your Rust programming languages is the Postgre. Then go for the PostgreSQL and use that. And for that, you should have to use the SQLite. And like Postgre is often for the like the top choices for the serious production. We can say that I think this will be a right term, a serious production kind of a systems. So for that reason, you should have to use the PostgreSQL, and there are other databases available. You can use the MySQL as well, and MongoDB as well. So the bottom line is there is there is no best database. It's according to your use case, and so let me move these two grades, not this one, complete grade here, and let me close the SQLX. So alright, now let's look at the practical example using the rusqlite. For this current video, we are going to explore the rusqlite, and we are going to write a simple code example. Let me open the documentation. Right now I am on a grades.io, and here is the documentation link. Yeah, we have the documentation ready. Okay. Okay, so let's start. I have already created a new cargo project, and first thing we need is not the main function. I think first we have to add the rusqlite crate. Okay, it gets added, and now we need the main function first. Okay, so we have added the crate called the rusqlite. Now the first thing while working with the database, you have the database, and you need to connect to that database. For that we are going to create a separate function, and for that we are not going to write all the code in the main function. To make our code clean, we will be using the connect to database, or we can say that SQLite database. Okay, and we will create a function called connect db. Okay, and there is we will get a variable, and we will import the struct from the rusqlite, which is called the connection, and there is an open function. Now we need to add the database name. For that I will you can add any name you want, but I am writing it for the SQLite 3. So db.sqlite 3 will be the database name. Now we need to print the message to the user. Okay, why is this happening? And connect it to database, and I think we need a line break and make it clean, and we have to return the connection from this function. So because we need the connection for all the other functions which we are going to create, and we are going to import the result from the rusqlite, and the return type will be a connection. This will not function will not accept any kind of a parameter, but the OK will return the connection. Now we have the connectDB function. Let's call this connectDB. Right now we don't have any kind of error. Yeah, one error we got because we okay. So we have to return from the result from the main as well. Now the error gets removed. And now we have to add the okay as well. Okay, so we have connected to the SQLite database. Now the second thing which we need while working with any kind of the database, we need to create a table. So for that reason we will create a new function called create table, and this will return the result as well. And this function will accept the parameters. The parameter will be a connection, but we are going to pass it by reference, because this same single connection we are going to pass to the every function which we are going to use, because the connection will be same and common. So that's why we are using it by reference. And this connection will have the method called execute, which let me indent the code. So we have to write the query here. The query should be create table if not exists users, and the field should be, first one should be an ID, which will be a primary key, not the first primary key. It should be an integer primary key auto increment, yeah. And the second field name should be because we are creating a users table, so second name should be name, and the text should not null. The third should be an age, which should be an integer, not null. And for the params part, we are not going to pass anything, so we will just pass the empty vector. And now we need to add the created created users table or already exists. Okay, and we will add the line break, and we just simply return the okay. So now we have the connection. Let's call this function create table, and this time we are going to pass the connection. So we have the connected to our database. We have created the table. Now we need to insert something to that table. For the insertion part, we are going to create a new function called insert user. User, and function will be insert user, and this will be return the result. Okay, the first thing will be the connection without any questions, without any doubts. The second thing which we need for the insert user, we have the fields the name and age. For the name we are going to pass the string slice, and for the age we are going to use the unsigned 32. I think is the now. So okay, we have to query again. For that reason we need a connection, and there is not a query. We need to execute that query, and okay, the query should be insert into users, and when we are going to insert the name and age, and the values should be, we are going to pass the first placeholder, then second placeholder. For the params part, we are going to use the params from the rusqlite as a function, and we are going to pass the name and the age. Okay, now what we need to do, we just have to write the, like say the user, not that, user in user, I think we can say that user with the name inserted, and we'll add a line break here. Okay, and what we can say that now we can say that name, we will pass the name here. Okay, so let's call this, and after creating a user we will insert the insert user function, and name should be the first one, will be, let's say, DHH. It's not a character, it's a string DHH, and it should be, we are going to get the 50, not 50, 60. Okay, so now we will insert the another user. Let's add the sorting. Okay, and we are saying that it should be a 60 age. Okay, so now we don't have any kind of the errors. We have made a connection, create table, insert a new user. Now the what was the next part? Okay, so the next part will be update, but we are going to update only the age of that users. For that we need to update user age, and we can create update function called user instant appropriate name, and the design type will be a result, and obviously this will need a connection, and we are going to update the user age on the basis of the ID. So ID should be a new unsigned 32, and we need the age, which should be unsigned 32 as well. Okay, so we need to query again. For that there is an execute method, and what we can say, what we have to, let me then, okay, so update users and set, no, not that kind. I think it's that the query should be age equal to placeholder 1, where we have to pass the ID, where ID will be equal to placeholder 2, and we are going to use the params, and params will be, the first param will be obviously the age, and the second param will be ID. And now we have to get some message, user, I think here we can say that user 1 age updated, and we will add a line break here, and we just pass the ID. Okay, so we don't have any kind of the error. Let's call this after the insert. We are going to, what happened, what's the function name, called the update user, and we have the connection, we just need to pass the ID. Let's say we are going to update the DHH age from 50 to 40 because he seems quite young. Okay, so 40, and now we have updated the user age. Let's save it. We don't have any kind of the errors. Let me add. So now we have connected to database, created the table, inserted the user, updated the user. Now I think we should have the function for the delete user part. Okay, so for delete user we will create a function called delete user, and this will, for the delete user we need a connection as well, but we only need the ID for deleting the user. And for the delete part we will execute another query again. Okay, the query should be delete from users, where, not where, like that, where placeholder 1, and the param should be of the id. Okay, and we just I don't know why every time I trying to type the println and this thing gets printed. What's happening here? Just to hit the printer and delete it. Not like that. Deleted user. Oh, I think it's fine. Just set it in line break. Okay. And we are going to pass the id. And okay. So we have updated the user. Now we need to call the delete user. We're just going to pass the connection. We are going to delete the I think we should have to delete the user too. Or let's save it. The one will be fine. Okay, so we have the last function which we need here is for the list user. For the list user part, we are going to say a function should be a list users, and this will return the result. And we are going to pass the connection here, and connection should be, we only need the connection, nothing else. Now this function will be a little bit different from the others, because we need some kind of this statement here. For the statement part, we can say that the connection have the prepare method, and we need to pass the select. We have prepared this select straight from the users. Okay, we are going to select everything from the users. Now we need some kind of the iteration or iterable for the, let's say, not the users iterable, and we can say that, what we can say? We can say that the statement will have the query map. For the params part, we are not going to pass anything, but we need some kind of closure here, and this will return the. Okay, so now we need some kind of the values here which we are going to return, and we are going to loop through all these to print all the users to the screen. For that reason, I think we should need some kind of a struct, because we have the users, and it's a good thing to create a struct called user, because we have users table, and it should have the okay, so the first thing will be id, and id should be a signed 32, and there's a name which is of the type thing. The third thing is the age. Okay, and I think we can say that it should be a derive debug. Okay, and let's save it. Okay, so there is no error. Now what we need, we can easily say that a user, and the first thing is the id, and we have the row. There is a function called get. We are passing the id, and now we have the row name, which should be of a one index, and the third thing is the age, which we are going to get from the second index. Okay, so now what? Now we need to loop. We need some kind of a loop, because we have first prepare that query, and then we have all the data, and obviously we need some we have added the query map, and what this query map will return us, let me check it. So this will be a mapped rows. Okay, and the map rows. Oh, okay, so this will be a vector of string, so it means it's a vector. So for the vector part, we can say that for user in users, okay, and we just said we can easily say that and okay. So let's say there are no users and the database is empty, or we have deleted the users. So for that, I think we should have to check for that as well. Let's say we can define the mutable found users, which will be a boolean, and we can update this flag to true, and we can easily check that found users not found, sorry, not found user. Then we simply and no user, no users found in the database. Okay, so now everything is completed. Why we are getting that it's not used? I think we have only used for the return type purpose. For read, we haven't called this id name and string. We can say that where is it? I think it's called the allow, and it's called that, yeah, it's okay. So now the warning will, we are not getting any kind of the warning. So we have created the table. After the insertion, we need to list users. We have passing the connection, and when we update the user, we need the, and after the delete, we also need to list that users. So I think now everything is completed, and right now we are not getting any kind of the errors. So let's check the code again. We have connected to the database, we have created the table, we have inserted the users, two users we have here, we have inserted it, and then we list the user, then update the user age, and again list the user, then delete the user, then list it again. So for that reason, also I think we can call this list user function from inside that functions as well. And okay, so we have added the line break here, line break here, line break here, and okay. So let's test this. I think we are good to go now. Let's compile it. Okay, connected to database, created users table or already exists. Then user DHS inserted, then sorting inserted, and then we have the user 1, user 2, and user 1 age updated, and then we have the age updated to 40. You can clearly see that, and then deleted the user. If you see that with the age was first 50, then we have updated the age, it changed to updated to 40. Then we have deleted the user 1, and you see you have only the one user, which is the user 2. Let me add some kind of the indentation for the thing. Yeah, delete user part. We are going to add the line break here as well, and for the update part as well. So also for the insert part, I don't think so we should have to add the line break. It's not looking good. And what we need to do now, we have the, let me show you the database first. So this is the database file created, db.sqlite3, which we have given the name to the connection open function db.sqlite3, and you can clearly see that here. this one is the name, and you can see here the name is created here. Let me delete it. Okay, and we will run this one more time. Okay, run it again. So connected to database, it created user table, so DHS inserted, and so now we have the user 1 and 2. Okay, gets added, user 1 updated. Now we have the user data, and after that we have deleted user 1, and last we have showed the list the users again, connected to database. Okay, I think that's it for now. Let me check if there is anything else in the grades. Okay. Also, if you are building something like a to-do list app or note-taking app or task manager, some kind of, then you should have to use the SQLite database. And if you want to build e-commerce or very large kind of a database stuff or real-time messaging app or anything like that, you should have to use the PostgreSQL and the other databases available. So remember, the right database depends on your project, not on the popularity. And I will attach the link of the create of the SQLite in the description, and also I will push the code and attach the link of the GitHub repository in the description as well. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and see you in the next one. Take care. Bye.